many years, hounded by hatred and trapped by fear. I'm in a box, I've got no place to go. If I follow my mind, I know I slaughter my own. Help me, I'm the prisoner. Won't you hear my plea? I need somebody, yeah, to listen to me. I beg you, brothers and sisters, I'm counting on you, yeah.
Peace and love. Welcome to the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition. I am Brother Frank. I'm the chairperson of the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition. Today we are focused on Ronald Reed. First and foremost, everybody is worked up. Donald Trump's inauguration had happened. There was a number of opportunists doing what they do to, I guess, secure their spot in his era, right? Because his era officially begins right now. Me, on a personal note, I was disturbed that he revoked what Biden had done with taking Cuba off the terrorist list. But Biden should have done that when he first came into office. But they all are part of the same system, so we have to focus more on what are we going to do, how well and committed we going to be with organizing. So we can't get too much caught up in our emotions, which includes me, right? I got to do my push-ups, do my exercise, do my reading, have some material that's going to raise my consciousness politically about what's going on, and connect with people who are ready to do some organizing work. Because that's what comes down to is what are you going to do? What are you prepared to do? What cause are you prepared to step up and take it up seriously? That's why when I'm on this platform, I'm always making sure that I provide my contact information, because it's bigger than just having a podcast. It's about bringing people together. What resources do you have? What are you willing to do? And what has been done before, right? Because this is not the first time that we're dealing with people, a group of people, because you could just see in his inauguration who was behind him. You have billionaires, you have people who are responsible for the livelihood of a number of people who are employed by them. So now they're making sure that their agenda is going to be a top priority. So yes, that's deeply concerning to a number of people who struggle every day for food, clothing, and shelter. So we have to look at what's happening. As I said, this is not the first time that you have an uncomfortable situation taking place when somebody comes into office. We got to think about the time when Reagan was in office, any other of these presidents that's supposed to be thinking about us and us taxpayers and what we've done, and or rather what our contribution is to society. And then we have to look at our power, our position of power as a working force, and how we can utilize that to make those who are supposed to do what we want done take us more seriously. And that comes through discussion, whether you are meeting in person or you being online, right? But we can't get too comfortable with just going online, sharing a post and DMing somebody. We have to decide that we're going to meet outside of this virtual world and break bread with one another, talk to one another, and discuss what's the way forward. What do we have that we can share with one another and are willing to share, rather? One of the things that occurred the last few days of Joe Biden's term is that he pardoned Leonard Peltier. Leonard Peltier is a political prisoner, was a political prisoner, right? They said that he's going to be released officially in February, which is, is bittersweet because he's seriously sick, and we need him home uh, as soon as possible to take care of him. To take care of him, right? His people are ready to do what they need to do. They have a serious, powerful culture of indigenous people that know various forms of treatment to deal with his ailments. So that is something that can be utilized to get the best of his years. And we have to just be mindful of that and look at this victory of him coming home and being inspired. Because I know that there was a representative for Mumia's campaign to get free, Joanna Fernandez, who mentioned that Leonard Peltier's freedom is like a boost, a morale boost towards getting Mumia Abu Jamal free. But that means that we got to do some more work. We got to do some more demonstrations. There got to be some more marching. There got to be some more writing, some more organizing, and just a lot more creativity, right? Because I think that is the bottom line. How creative are we when it comes to freeing our political prisoners? What platforms do we have to talk about our political prisoners? We have to use that, and we have to be very focused on that. And I think that is what this victory with Leonard Peltier coming home is a victory for us. Is an opportunity for us to get busy, to utilize those areas of in terms of creativity that has been presented to us, to use that for another political prisoner, whether it's Mumia Abu Jamal, whether it's Joy Powell, whether it's who I'm going to be talking today, Ronald Reed. And then you can't forget the Virgin Three that me and my brother Abdul Haq Islam had addressed. And we talked about their situation and their campaign to deal with them being free. So if you want to know more about them, I just present the website. If you are not able to see the website, it's www.vi3.org. There's stories there. There's an incredible, powerful poem that's there. Like I always do, I just want to make sure that I present uh, so a suggested reading. This one's The Groundings with My Brothers, Walter A. Rodney of Guyana, important, powerful revolutionary, professional revolutionary who knew what was at stake, who knew that you had to be willing to put it all on the line if you're serious about change for your people. In that particular book, he's reminding those people who are melanated, black people who are from various places, that regardless of what we claim to be, wherever we're at, we still united, or we still are under oppression because of the color of our skin. And the chapter that he deals with Black Power, understanding Black Power, I thought it was Black Power, a basic understanding. I think that was very important because when we talk about Black Power, we're talking about, how we access our right to control our own destiny, right to make sure that our self-determination is protected by any and all means necessary. I thought that chapter does a good job in letting people of African descent who live in various locations know that we need unity based on the common ground of the color of our skin. So that lets us put aside our various differences, because those differences are petty when you really think about what's happening, the ongoing attack. And I think that he mimicked or Malcolm X words when Malcolm was talking about we could put our religion to the side and we got to focus on us being oppressed, and we have to have a united front. And that was very important because it allows you to focus clearly on what's at stake. So now you don't not wasting time having meaningless discussions, discussions that are geared towards one's personal opinion, as opposed to having a clear understanding about the world and what's happening and why you're under attack, and the fact that you don't control what you need, and which is food, clothing, and shelter. You don't control the means of that being produced, but yet your labor is used for it being to be manufactured, produced, and distributed. So today we're going to talk about Ronald Reed, who he was, and why we need to free him, right? So I'm going to present this information for those who can see it. For those who can't see it, I'm going to read what he wrote to me. So we all have an idea of who he is and what we need to do, and use our resources to raise awareness about him. Again, my phone number is 347 3 347 679 3936. For those of you who would like to know more about this brother and get additional information, because I have an entire package that he gave me. So it says, hello, my name is Ron Reed. I'm writing to you from the Minnesota Department of Correction, Lino Lakes Prison, where I'm incarcerated. In 2006, I was convicted of a cold case, 1970 murder of James Sackett, a St. Paul police officer, and was sentenced to life imprisonment. I had nothing to do with this horrible event. My sympathy is with the family. They deserve closure and justice. My enclosed file explains everything. The prosecution's case against me was circumstantial and based primarily on the testimony of John Griffin, a convicted narcotic trafficker who was serving a 30-year sentence to the federal system. Griffin claimed that I confessed to him that I was the trigger man, the person who shot Officer Sackett, and that my motive for killing him was to gain the attention of the Black Panthers Party. In exchange for his story, he was released from prison 12 years early. Later, he recanted his testimony against me, admitting that he lied in order to obtain his early release. See attachment C, page 2. This past July, 3 years past my parole eligibility date, I appeared before the newly instituted Department of Corrections Supervised Release Board. Once again, I was denied parole because I would not confess to being the trigger man who shot Officer Sackett. The fact that my trial jury, confirmed by the Minnesota Supreme Court, found that not to be the case was ignored by several of the board members. See the attached files. At 74 years of age, I've spent 1/3 of my life in service of a false narrative, a lie that justice has been served and that Officer Sackett's killer has been held accountable. I am in desperate need of legal representation. Again, I'm going to read that. I am in desperate need of legal representation. So that goes out to anybody who's listening who has contact with a lawyer, a compassionate lawyer, a lawyer who's really about justice. That this brother is in desperate need of legal representation. I request that you read the file of correspondences I am including and watch the video mentioned in my letter to Governor Walz. I welcome the opportunity to work with you to secure the truth and justice on my behalf. Sincerely, Ron Reed. So there's a number of pages. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's about 27 pages. He presented this package to me so that I can read it, so that I can do my part in helping him get what he needs to bring him home. So his contact information is provided on on the screen for those of you who are able to see it. You can write to Ronald Reed. Well, I'm going to read the new address that he gave me. So I'm pretty sure if you do write to this old address, that is just going to be sent to him. So it says that Ron Reed, his number is 219-531, address MCF, Lino Lakes, Minnesota. The zip code is, it's the rest of the address is P.O. Box 247, Phoenix, Maryland, 2131. 21131. Again, that's Phoenix, Maryland, 21131. So that's his address, his contact information. I think if all of us did something, or at least shared this information with somebody, we can find the necessary resources that can help our beloved brother. If you are not familiar with his situation, from what he said, in addition to what he said, rather, he was part of the Black United Front. I believe that was in the 60s. They were organizing, they were dealing with the issues that were happening with to Black people, oppressed people. And, because of that, they're going to be felt with some resistance, right? Some resistance is going to be thrown at their way, and is going to be by the state. So we have to do our part in bringing him home. We have to utilize our resources to make him aware that we are not just sitting here exchanging information, right? Because sometimes we get information on somebody, and instead of us deciding what are we going to do about it, we just start to regurgitate an idea, a concept, a story. We start talking about, oh, this person was locked up for this, and it is so upsetting. It's so horrible that this person is incarcerated and didn't do what they claim to do. This system, that. This system, that. But we have to do some organizing. So at this moment, I'd like to take some time out to let you know that February 15th at Bedford Hills Correctional Facility, we're going to have a visual. It's going to be from 5 to 7. It's going to be How Our Lives are Linked All Together with the Northeast Political Prisoners, NEPPC. A number of organizations will be invited, but we're going to be putting that together to let those who are incarcerated know that they are being supported, that they are not near alone, that we're their eyes, their ears, their hands. We are what they need to be out in the outside world, that we represent that, we represent them. So they should not feel hopeless. They should not feel neglected or forgotten, that they are represented and we are their representation. So, that's going to be on February 15th. So as I think about Ronald Reed, think about his letter, think about how Leonard Peltier was free, and the fact that he has an organization, he has a committee, and that's what we need for Ronald Reed. We need a Ronald Reed committee. So I'm looking for help. I'm looking for support. I'm looking for people who want to do some serious work. It requires you to be creative, for you to do as much as you can with your time, maybe an hour or two out the entire month. Write him a letter. When he writes the letter back to you, share it with 10 people, 10 people who are serious about change. I think that, that comes from people who uh, deal with legal issues, who have a history of standing up, right? And finding, and not just passing them something to do or giving them a homework assignment, but making it your business to add on to it. But when we talk about Ronald Reed, we have to also mention our other political prisoners, and that's Imam Jamil El Amin. He is in an unfortunate situation, and it's a matter of life and death, literally, for him to be home and get the necessary support that is needed. Kojo Bomani Sabu. This is his information. You can scan the QR code if you're able to see it. If you can't see what I'm presenting, like I told you, contact me at 347-679-3936. Again, that's 347-679-3936. So I can get you that information. Joseph Bound, he's another one. Contact me at the number I just gave you, that 347-679-3936. Write him a letter and continue to have that contact that is necessary to bring our brother home, Kwame Bean Shakur. The QR code would send you directly to get more information on him. If you are not able to see the QR code, you can contact me at my number, 347-679-3936. It's important that we take time to talk about these political prisoners and talk about the importance of bringing them home. Uh, we have to get stronger and more committed, and prepare ourselves to do some serious work. I know I'm in contact with Brother Shep. He's a part of the original Black Panther Party from New York City, and he invited me to this campaign launch. This campaign launch is going to be February 5th, 2025. That's going to be 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. At the legendary People's Church at 163 East 111th Street. That's Lexington Avenue, East Harlem. Uh, Contact information is available on the screen. If you don't have it, I can give it to you at my number, 347-679-3936, so that you can be where you need to be to do what you need to do. So the brother Ronald Reed gave us the information about what we need to do and how we need to get it done. So it's very important that when we get that personal letter, because I get very excited. I went to the library. I believe I took off my boots. I relaxed. I read the letter, and I immediately started to go to the library and scan. So if you happen to have access to the library, you can scan documents for free and email them to a number of people. We have to utilize those resources as taxpayers. we pay taxes for us to have a public library. So now we have access to a number of books. We have access to archives. We could do serious research. We could do documentaries that are just about presenting information, having a discussion, and inviting people on our platform to have these much needed discussions. So February is right around the corner. Black History Month. We got to talk about political prisoners during Black History Month. Why not mention Kamal Siddiqui? Why not mention Ronald Reed? Right? Give him an opportunity to be heard. That's my assignment to anybody who's willing to accept it. Talk about Ronald Reed. Talk about who he is. Talk about the Black United Front, what they stood for, why it is necessary to not forget them, and the fact that he took a position to address our issues because he knew that he had the responsibility to do so. So we have to honor that. We have to honor him and people like him. So, that's your assignment, hoping that you'll take it up seriously. If you need the information that I gave you on the screen about Ronald Reed, please, you can contact me at my phone number or you can contact me at my email. My email is Sefu Sankofa, SEFUSANKOFA at gmail.com. I could give you the documents that is necessary to have a very informative program on one particular political prisoner, Ronald Reed. And then there's others that you could talk about, people like Mumia Abu Jamal, and give him that necessary support because it is our responsibility, it is our duty to do that. And that should be a goal, an assignment. If you're going to have a Black History Month program, we talk about Malcolm X, we talk about Martin Luther King, we talk about Harriet Tubman, we talk about Nat Turner, and we talk about others, right? Sometimes when we talk about certain heroes during Black History Month, we don't connect them with being political prisoners. We don't connect Martin Luther King often with being a political prisoner. And when we don't do that, then we're not recognizing current political prisoners, and that's why it's very important to know what a political prisoner is, and the fact that we have a number of our freedom fighters who, at one time or another, became a political prisoner. Right? That was Martin Luther King. You also have people like Fannie Lou Hamer. You know, they was doing some serious work, and and because of it, they had to deal with the consequences. But they knew that being conscious means nothing if you're not willing to put it all on the line, not willing to sacrifice for the people. So, as I always do, I like to talk about what is a political prisoner, right? Political prisoners is one who has made and who acts on a conscious political decision to change the present state of property relations. I think that it gives you a certain meaning about what a political prisoner is, so the potential of any one of us at any given time can be a political prisoner just because we had the courage to fight back, just because we said enough is enough, that we're not going to stand for what's going on, that we're actually going to be about some serious change, some serious organized action. So it's important that we do this work that is necessary, right? Because when I'm reading Ronald Reed's information, he's writing to the governor. He's acting at his own defense. He's acting as an investigative reporter. He's digging deep to get the facts. I know that Sekou Odenga told me that he worked on his own case. Yes, it was the Sekou Odenga Defense Committee, but he didn't leave it entirely up to them. He was doing his own work in the inside. So when Ronald Reed gave me this package, he was letting me know that he's not just waiting around for them to open up the gate and say, okay, you did enough time, we're going to let you free. He is doing investigations. He is doing what is necessary, and he's asking me to do what is necessary for my side. So he works the inside and I work the outside, and together we fight harder and stronger until we get the results that we want. And that's why when we look at the situation with Leonard Peltier and the fact that he is coming home, that we should realize that we don't have to ignore political prisoners. We have to show gratitude, like Mutulu Shakur said. We needed to show gratitude to Sundiata Acoli. And that is exactly what we are doing when we're talking about political prisoners. We're giving information, we're exchanging ideas, we are saying, what do we think about what should be done, and we're deciding that we're going to get it done. One of the points that I wanted to make is that we should be dealing with the masjids, we should be dealing with the churches, the synagogues, the community centers. I happen to be in the areas of Jamaica, Queens. So there's a community center out there that I have utilized for a number of things. For February, I'm considering using it for a Black History Month program. I got to just sit down and organize those ideas. I got a comrade of mine from the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition that I know he's been willing to work with me, Mogadishu, on doing something in that particular area in Queensbridge. A brother of mine, Sugar Ray, I know that whenever I'm able to do something or willing to do something or come up with a concept, he's always willing to support it. I know he's a very busy man, so whatever time he can give me, I'm appreciative of it. Even if he can't give me much time, if he just gives me an alley-oop to be able to have access to a particular facility, and I could take it from there. Because that's what it's about: exchanging ideas, exchanging resources, and supporting each other where we can, and not taking it personal because somebody couldn't show up to something. People have their own lives, and people know that if they don't do certain things uh, in their situation could go from bad to worse, or from good to bad, or whatever can happen. And they want to monitor it, they want to stay on top of it. So I respect that. I understand that, and understand that very clearly, especially as you age, and you are the focal point of your family. And there are a number of people relying on you to get things done because they figure if you're not the one to do it, it won't get done. So those are serious situations that are present. But Ronald Reed is a brother who is presently calling on us to utilize our resources to help him. So if you happen to know anybody, I know you have the Innocent Projects. There's out there. They're out there. I know I was just looking at a flyer about the wrongfully convicted people. It said INC at the end. So I know that this is incorporated. These are people who come together to utilize their resources and to step up and to the task and do what is necessary to bring those who are innocent home. So these resources need to be utilized, need to be exchange so that we can bring our loved ones home. And our political prisoners are our loved ones. They have done so much for us. We have to do enough for them. We have to put ourselves in a position to make sure that we let them know that they are not forgotten. So once again, I'll provide the information on our political prisoners so that we can write them, because it's very uplifting to them. Because if you remember when I read the letter from the brother, matter of fact, I did not read the personal letter that he gave to me, but in the personal letter that he gave to me, he talked about how it was very uplifting to get my letter, that he was working, that he was dealing with actually being denied parole that July. So when he got my letter, it gave him a newfound level of hope that somebody from the outside was willing to look into his situation, was willing to utilize their resources to make people aware about who he is, and the fact that he shouldn't be in his current situation. And that is something that makes me feel good, that the ideas, the concept of political prisoners is being heard by a political prisoner and being heard throughout different places. I know that my brother Sugar Ray had put me in a position just the other day to receive an acknowledgement for bringing awareness to the community about political prisoners. I did some volunteer work in the community, and the community just wanted to say thank you for giving my time, because they know how valuable people's times are. And just like you listening to this podcast right now, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time out to listen to this podcast, this show. I know my brother Sugar Ray tells me call it a show. Don't call it no podcast. So, this show, the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition show, where we focus on political prisoners, so this is how we'll conclude it. Y'all know the call, free them all. Don't let political prisoners die in prison. Free Ronald Reed, free them all, free Joy Power, free Kamal Siddiqui, free Mumia Abu Jamal. Peace and love, family.
Here I am, after so many years, hounded by hatred and trapped by fear. I'm in a box, I've got no place to go. If I follow my mind, I know I slaughter my own. Help me, I'm the prisoner. Won't you hear my plea? I need somebody, yeah, to listen to me. I beg you, brothers and sisters,